Hey everybody, it's Mark again. I'm out here on my hike today and just enjoying nature. I was in the office today and just started feeling a little bit anxious and had a lot to do, a lot of things on the to-do list. And I really knew when I started feeling that way, when I start feeling stressed, that's just an indicator that I need to get out, change my state, maybe change my location. And by state, I mean the what my body is doing at the time, not sitting at my computer, not sitting at my desk. Get outside, go stretch, go jump around, go do something. I needed a state change. And so I opted to come out here into the woods and just admiring this beautiful scenery. I've got all these wonderful ferns and a lot of plant life that really only does well in kind of a little bit more moist environment. And I'm actually on the north facing side of a hill where obviously it doesn't get as much sunlight. You see some moss growing on this side of the trees as I look around me, and ferns need a little bit moister environment. In fact, if this was the south siding face of this very hill, you wouldn't have such abundant fern population. And one of the reasons is we kind of develop almost a microclimate around the type of plants that can grow on this side of the hill, because those plants are only adapted to grow where it's a little bit more moist, where they have preserved moisture, not as much thawing and freezing during the winter. And there's a number of different factors that go into it. What's interesting when we think about that, what these ferns go through is, I would venture to say, a little bit simpler than what we as human beings have to go through. And what I mean by that is, as you look around me, many of these plants, these trees can only survive in a particular type of environment. Some maybe further north, further south. Maybe certain types of ferns would do a little bit better with a little bit of sunlight, but by and large, they need this particular environment to grow as abundant as they do. And look around, just look how much this whole forest area is covered in fern growth. And those ferns would not thrive outside of this very environment. So, as human beings, we don't have it that easy, do we? When we get outside of where we feel comfortable, we have to be able to adapt to the situation. We have to be able to grow in a new situation. And, I'm gearing up to move with my family here. We're in Wisconsin presently. We're moving to Nebraska. There will be a new city, new friends, new people, new office, just a whole bunch of new things for myself to get used to, and my kids, my two girls, have to get used to that as well. New friends and a new school, and so on and so forth. And as human beings, we have to be able to adapt to new environment. And that's one of the things that's so special about you and me, is that we can adapt and grow in new environments. And so if you're feeling a little bit stagnant in your life right now, if you're feeling like you need a change, if you're feeling stressed in the environment, I don't care if you're at work right now, if you're at home, if you're in your kitchen, in your living room, you're spending too much time on the couch or too much time at your desk. If you're feeling stagnant, first step is just to stand up, walk away, go stretch, go get a glass of water, or do something different. Change your state, your physical state of being. The next thing is to just be open-minded to what it takes to succeed in the environment that you're in. So if there's a new goal that you're trying to reach, or if you're feeling stressed about being in the environment, what new knowledge do you need to acquire in order to be successful in that new environment? I'm always reading new content, whether I'm gleaning it off the internet or listening to it in podcasts or reading it in books. I'm always gleaning new content, because you never know when you're going to need that new little bit of information, and it has value. So that is my encouragement to you, is to get out, go somewhere new, different, and figure out what it is you need to be learning. Always be learning, always be taking in new information, so that when you get to that point where you're in a new and different situation, that you're prepared. Or if you have to uproot and move for your job, or if you have to find yourself in a new position of leadership, or a new sales situation, or a new environment with your business, whatever it might be, that you're able to adapt. And unlike these ferns, which would shrivel and die on the south-facing side of the hill, that you are able to overcome whatever the challenge is in your daily life, in your business struggle, in your family struggle, wherever that might be. This is Mark Jewell, and I appreciate the time that you spend with me, and I can't wait to speak with you in person.